Good morning. Today is June 3rd, 2019. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Welcome, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. Please rise for the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Item 3, any citizen desiring to be heard? Hearing none. Item 4, consideration and possible action on approving minutes of May 31. I'd like to table that until our next meeting without objection of the board. Thank you. Item 5, discussion with Deanne Peterson, Natural Resources Conservation Service, pertaining to emergency water protection grants related to flood disaster in Logan County. Deanne, I'm sure you're here to tell us all about that.
Yeah, so.
Thank you.
Okay, so I know you've all done EWP, but I think Monty and you two were the last two that did it. So you had to register in SAMS. So if we end up determining today you guys are interested, we need to get that done. I know that Monty, I'm pretty sure you did it, and we just need to go in there and renew that. And make sure if you do it that you put yourself as an entity. You don't want to be a private, because if you mark it as private,
Right.
it's not going to
Dan,
work.
could you kind of explain some of the things you're talking about there? I mean,
Yeah.
this is a public meeting, and
Okay, so we're talking about emergency watershed protection.
Right.
This is a program through the federal government, and it's first a declaration of emergency. Action has to be declared. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but I know the state con can also do that. So our state conservationist here in Oklahoma is going to do that if the president does it. Understanding that there's $4 billion that have been asked to assist for the damages. And this is a program, it's slow, it's the government. It can be 6 months up to a year if we get things done. So where we're at right now, we've asked for the money. We have turned in that we need assistance. And so we have 60 days to determine potential sites, turn in what we think those damages are and how much money we need and how we're going to fix those. And when we look at potential sites, we're looking at areas that are not totally damaged. So if you have a bridge that's already washed away, we can't help. Because what we're doing is trying to put rock riprap around the areas to protect the road or protect the bridge. But if it's already gone, there's nothing to protect. So we're looking at, like abutments around bridges that might have had erosion. Culverts are a really, if they're small culverts, it's cheaper for y'all to put a culvert in there for us to come back and try to put rock wrap around it. So I was told that if that culvert holds a 10-year storm and more, then we could probably do it. So what you would need to do, the best thing would be go out, look in your area of the county if you're interested, your potential sites, and get me a list as soon as possible.
So Deanne, if I might interject there.
Mm-hmm.
The hydrology, do we need a hydrology study in that particular area to justify the
justification is going to be based off of, basically we're saving a road
for the tin horn. I'm specifically focused on the tin horn.
I'll just go look at it and I'll determine if it doesn't meet that storm, it doesn't matter.
Because I can't speak for the rest of the commissioners, but I know that all of us have like 8-foot corrugated tin horns,
Yeah.
8 foot tall. Those take the place of the older WPA bridges that have come and gone in some areas, and that's the most.
If you have 8-foot culverts, put them on your list, but if it's just a small tin horn or something, don't put those on your list. And then I can look at it, and if I'm not sure, there'll be an engineer that comes out of the Perry TSO office, and he will make that final call. But what they're looking at, even still, what is the cost of maybe to put that 8-foot, and we're not talking about replacing it totally, we're talking about, putting something around it to protect that huge pipe, if you've got an 8-foot one.
Right.
But normally when I put in a pipe, I'll have the engineer do a study and see what,
Right.
if it meets a 10-year or 25-year.
We all pretty much do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
so anyway, I'll have that for you.
okay, yeah. So that's what we're looking at. If the roads are already closed, I don't know if I said that, if the road is closed, we can't look at it. I mean, because basically you're already saying that it's not passable for people to be traveling that road. Because all we're doing is trying to protect something, we're not trying to repair it.
County Commissioner in the back here. I've closed a road it's a dirt road, but it's in a highly trafficable area. I closed it because water came across the road and backwashed this large tin horn. Didn't move the tin horn. The tin horn's in good shape, but it undercut the road, and I can't have traffic driving across this cave under the road. They can't see it, right?
Well-
So we closed the road because of that. However, that overwash could be prevented by possibly some riprap and that kind of
If
stuff.
the road is closed and when we go out there, the site is automatically not eligible.
Take your sign down when you take them out.
Well, I can do that. I got that part. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay, so while we're talking about roads, Deanna, I think we've discussed this before. We've looked at, there are certain types of roads or classifications of roads that you guys can help with and others that you can't. Is that?
Well, if we're protecting, if it's a traveled road, and we'll go back and look at numbers, the population, and try to figure out, if it's a school route, are we looking at a post office, a mailman, do they run that route?
Like major
How many-
collectors, minor collectors,
Yeah,
those
and
kind
we
of
look at that
restrictions.
for our DSR, and that'll help us kind of figure out, how much money we're putting in to save a road that is being used. Because if it doesn't have a lot of traffic, we can't show the economics for us to justify fixing that area. And that's how we use the economics, is determining how much is
So I
traveled.
think a major collector is okay. I think a major collector is better than just
Yeah, I agree too.
well, I'll give you a list.
Yep. All right.
I got several spots.
And I've told Monty as soon as possible, because we have 60 days, so if you're interested, this is where we're at, because we
Is
have
it
60 days.
60 days from the declaration of the emergency?
From May 20th from the event, and we said
Okay.
it was May 20th through 28th, so you're 60 days from that event. So we need you to work on getting registered in the SAMs because it can take a while. We need a letter sent to the state con requesting your assistance, and I brought examples from in the past. In the past, we went out and already had on this letter, this is the site and this is what I want treated. But this time it can just be kind of a saying that I have areas in my district that need to be treated and we're asking for your assistance. Okay, so we don't have to have the exact everyone in the site. So also working on land rights, because in the past we got the land rights and you would turn them in, but now the land rights need to go to the DA and we have to have them sign off on them. And that could take a while, so they're saying go ahead and get started on those too. So, but the big thing
What
is
do you mean by land rights?
because if
Like easement?
easements, yes.
Temporary easement.
We've got a form already for that.
Like when?
But we have to have a DA. You may have a form, but we have to have one that's signed off by.
No,
the
we have a
DA.
form for that our DA signs off on, that's what
Okay.
I'm getting at, yeah.
And if you feel like it isn't going to take that long, then don't worry about it.
It's-
But we've been told.
I mean, for us to do work on private property, we have to get this form done before we move out on private property and do
We
any
can
kind of
get it
work.
pretty quick.
We'll get it done.
Okay.
We'll get it done.
So the big thing will be SAMs and then this sponsor letter then.
We're in the SAM system because of our CDBG grants.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. And it's been renewed this year then.
I'll double check that.
Yeah, so it has-
It's due to renew, I think.
Yeah. See, just
But-
make sure on that then. If you're in, you should be good.
Is that fiscal year or calendar year or state fiscal year or federal fiscal year?
I think it's renewed based off of the last time you renewed it
Yeah,
from the year
it's
that
just-
date, not.
12
anything.
month, okay,
Yeah.
12-month renewal, okay.
But they have expired.
So,
Yeah, I'll double check.
okay, so sounds like where I'm at then, we need the letter, work on the SAMs, and then if y'all get me a list of your potential sites. And if you don't have to, all three of you, if you don't feel like that this is a program that's gonna work for you, then you don't have to commit. I mean, we can just work with one district if that's how y'all want it to be. But if you're interested, just give me a list and we'll go from there.
I'll have you on this week.
So I can clarify, you just need a letter addressed to whom?
I will give you that information.
And it
It's
just
Gary-
needs to
Gary
say
O'Neill,
that we have suffered damage
Yeah.
and are requesting assistance.
Basically, kinda like this in here.
Okay.
Keep that as a
All right,
template.
thank
But
you.
didn't you say this is all contingent upon the president taking another action or
The
something?
state conservationist, if the president doesn't take action, our state con is gonna do it within our CS. He can do that and ask for these funds.
All right, Thank
But
you.
we're still looking at 6 months to a year from now for the money.
So this is reimbursement, right?
Yes, okay, it's not really reimbursement for y'all. You guys pay 25%, and that's usually in kind. You have your people and your equipment out there, and that's usually your 25%, and then NRCS pays the rest.
Okay.
Commissioners, per
Thank you
this
very much.
template, it takes action of the board, which there's no action on today's agenda.
Or you
So
can put it next,
our next meeting isn't until the 14th. Is that
that's
too
okay,
far
it'll still
out?
be 60 days. It'll still be 60 days.
Okay, just go ahead and put it on.
So put it on the agenda and then work on that.
All righty, Deanne, thanks.
Thank you.
I'll get you a list put together.
Okay.
Thank you, Deanne, we appreciate the information. All right. Moving on, item 6. Discussion and acknowledgement of ODOT request for comments for proposed pavement rehabilitation on State Highway 33 in Kingfisher County, resulting in detours of traffic through Logan County. Actually, I think it comes up out of Kingfisher County, Highway 33, and then it goes up north, Highway 74 to 61, and then back. Is the remodel that they've got for us. There's the map, I think. I just put this on the agenda, gentlemen, so we could all understand and acknowledge what they're about to do. That's their first upgrade of the state highway in our area.
So this is on Uncle John Creek,
Sir?
the project location's that's right in Kingfisher. ain't it?
Well, that's the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the corner
That's-
where the project
that's
starts.
Kingfisher.
But
Here's the letter.
yeah, they're gonna go all the way detour around.
Well, that's a heck of a detour, you know.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's, what is this, a 74-mile detour? So anyway.
Left for construction last month.
Yeah,
It'll be good. Good for Crescent.
will be, and cash. Maybe. All right. Any further discussion? All right, thanks, gentlemen. All right. Item 7, consideration of possible action to allow District 2 to utilize CBRI funds in an amount not to exceed $150,000 for CDBG grant 1725-8, CDBG 18, and Green Oaks Ranchettes, with reimbursing grant funds to be returned to CBRI once received.
Gentlemen, we have a grant that has a time bomb to its head, and we've had to expend a lot of funds, obviously. And so what we're asking for is a $150,000 loan. So we pay that off, and when we're reimbursed, we'll reimburse the CDRI fund.
So just so I'm clear, you're wanting to use 150,000 out of CDBG, or for a CDBG that's gonna be reimbursed
Yes,
to the CBRI.
that is correct.
That's a lot of CDBG.
A lot of acronyms there, yes, sir.
Mike, we got a kind of a tentative timeline on that action, when all that comes to fruition?
Well, the bids have to go out this month, I believe.
Millie is working on the bids right now.
Mm-hmm.
They will open, I wanna say she told me we're gonna shoot for the July 14th or
Yeah, that's
15th
correct.
meeting to open the bid. Let me look and see if
I guess my primary question is, I'm gonna need about $160,000 that we've already talked about for Waterloo Road for a couple of projects there out of that fund. What's the payback timeline is kind of what I was looking at. When would those
They
funds
usually
get back
get it-
in the CBRI account? Because, we certainly don't want to take it down to.
We usually get it back within a few months of the actual completion of the project.
Yeah, on CDBG, he's gonna have to pay up 100%, so the
Yeah, I get
120
that.
plus this 150 to meet the estimate. Of course, we don't know what the bid is for sure. Their Department of Commerce is usually pretty quick once everything's final and sent in to them. We, depending on when the project's
Right.
completed
Well,
and done.
Our Waterloo projects aren't until this fall anyway.
Right, so I don't foresee a problem.
If it, I mean, it might dry out by the time that those projects get ready, but we'll, okay. Okay, yeah, I was just curious, Mike, thanks.
I don't have an issue with it myself.
Well, I'll make the motion then.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second, further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Item 8, consideration and possible action to approve resolution establishing FY 19-20 participation in ACO, SIF, Workman's Comp Program, and selection of payment option.
They usually get the property liability out at the same time, however, they got this one to me and they need it back by the 14th is why I went ahead and put it on today and not waited for the other one to arrive. This is for the annual work comp. Total option 1 payment, if we paid it in full, is $215,714. It went up about $10,000 over last year. So we have a resolution to participate for the year, and then the decision.
215 what?
215,714.
Thank you, ma'am.
Then we need to select option 1, which is a payment in full by July 31st, which we have been doing because there's a $3,200 upcharge if we pay it in payments, which is option 2. So,
$3,200 savings if you paid up.
yeah. Which is what we've done the last several years.
Did we have a bunch of claims or something after that went up?
We always have claims, I mean.
And it always goes up.
And it's insurance, it's always gonna go up, just costs go up.
Because they can, no, they do. Because
Cause they got us over that little barrel.
it's not that little barrel either.
So I guess you need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
We gotta have to do it.
I'll second.
And down the motion
Aye.
include just selection of option 1, payment in
Option
full.
1.
Thank
I
you.
think that's what, yeah. I'll second that. So, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Molly, would you like?
So I'm gonna vote no then.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Unanimously. I almost said without objection, but it was a unanimous vote. Okay, item 9. Consideration and possible action to approve FY 2019-2020 General Mutual Cooperative Agreement between Oklahoma County and Logan County for repairs and maintenance of shared county roads.
This is the general that just says we'll work together on shared roads, and then, of course, if we have that happen, then we do specific agreements to the project. So this is the fiscal year agreement.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 11, consideration and possible action to approve FY 2019-2020 contract in the amount of $40,000 with Total Assessment Solution, TASC, for valuation services for the assessor's office.
Chairman, we got off on an item, so we'll need to go back to 10.
Did I miss it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I did, sorry. So,
Although I bet that tractor would have 40,000.
exactly. All right, item 10, consideration possible action to approve FY 2019-202 cooperative agreement with USDA APHIS Wildlife Service for wildlife damage management services.
Hey, I have to type all this stuff up.
Yeah, no,
Marvin.
I am not making fun of anything. Yeah.
That's just the chairman to sign.
Wildlife services, does that mean they come out and get all the dead deer off the roads as well?
I thought But they pick up the empty beer cans
No.
along the side of the road.
Only live ones.
That was a lot one time. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on wildlife services? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. All right, now on to item 11. Consideration and possible action to approve 2019-2020 contract in the amount of $40,000 with Total Assessment Solutions for valuation services for the assessor's office.
For the assessor's office.
It hasn't changed, it's the same amount. I'm just waiting for action, y'all already signed it.
Thank you.
Well, we can wind it down.
Guess I'll make the motion.
She's never seen anybody rip one of these up right on tea vacation. All right, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, I will second, since I will move this, to help move this along a little bit. Have a motion and a second, any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes without objection. Too much. Item 12, consideration of possible, ma'am? None? All right.
None on 13.
Okay, 12 and 13, no actions there. Item 14, consideration and possible action on the consent agenda.
We have no transfers, these are cash funds.
Yeah, it looks like you're about to be a big detour, Lee.
Yeah.
Marvin, what's the detour? What, like Kingfish, what?
Yeah, there you go. They sent a map out. We can get you a look.
What are they detouring?
Traffic.
Yeah, exactly. He hit it on the head.
Detouring traffic.
Why are they detouring traffic?
I think they're gonna redo that Uncle John Bridge there in Kingfisher, Oklahoma. And ODOT's not supposed to
Chris, here's
detour traffic on a lesser road than what's there, so they'll have to go all the way around 74 to 51 highway.
Oh, is that the reason for that long way around?
That will be closed.
And besides that, Crescent Over Road washed out.
Oh, yeah.
Going down Calvin Days. Road.
Good. But you know, some people will use Waterloo.
A lot of people are gonna use Waterloo. That's where those stop sticks come in handy at the sheriff's department. You don't really need those signs up to control traffic. Stop sticks work real good. No, you broke it. You broke it.
I did, I'll fix it though. I'm just gonna point out, you know, the money for the district, for this is April, it's always behind, but $86,031, that's for payroll, whole 9 yards.
That's not sales tax.
That's the fire department sales tax.
Yeah, this is the one I put, that was on that slide that I had there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, our monthly O and M was gone back on the 5th of May, or yeah. When we put that first 8-foot culvert back in. The only,
Yeah, Take the road closing sign down, put the speed bump ahead.
Exactly. Cross at your own risk, you know,
The sign
something.
about quarter mile before that, insurance paid up.
Is it on consent agenda?
What about life insurance? About a
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Second.
Have a motion and a second on consent. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item 15, any citizen desiring to be heard? Hearing none. Item 16, comments, announcements, questions by the Board of Commissioners. Mike? Phil?
Nothing.
You have anything? Okay. Nothing? Mike?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Item 17, consideration of possible action to adjourn.
I'll move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.